So I woke up this morning feeling very defeated, very emotional, and also quite stressed out with the fact that I'm trying to rehab my left arm post brain surgery. Now I had to do this last time I had brain surgery. However, the function that I'd lost was sort of from the elbow down to my wrist and down to my fingertips. Whereas this time it's a bit more, and it's stressing me out because basically the progression that I'm having from doing sort of certain physio rehab exercises, it feels like it's taking much longer for me to gain that function back. It's worrying me that I might never get the full function back, and it's also worrying me that if my brain tumour is progressing, that it's potentially going to get worse, and if I don't keep trying to rehab it and it's not getting any better, then potentially I'm going to lose more as the tumour potentially grows whilst I'm on chemotherapy. So currently I'm able to sort of lift my arm kind of when I'm standing up between my waist and between my hips, so I can lift it slightly, but I'm trying not to strain my shoulder muscles in the meantime as well. And in terms of dexterity, I've got very little dexterity in my left hand, so if I lift it up slightly I can at the minute close my hand into sort of a fist, but it's taken a lot of brain power to try and do that as well, whereas this hand I can just do normally. But currently I don't really have the function to release the fist, so at the minute I'm having to use my other hand to sort of release that. So yeah, I'm just feeling a bit upset with the fact that I'm not progressing as I was before, and it's worrying me that my condition is worsening, and that is then affecting the progression of my physio. So I'm going to show you a few physio exercises that I've currently been working on to rehab my hand. Some of these exercises I got from Brighton City Hospital, which was where I originally was diagnosed and originally had to do some rehab. And some of these exercises are from James Cook Hospital physio team, which is the hospital I'm at now, which is in Middlesbrough. Originally at Brighton Hospital I got given some putty. However, once I didn't need it anymore, we put it in the loft and then it melted all over the place. So instead I've got my nephew's Paw Patrol Play-Doh, which actually works exactly the same. It's brilliant because it's soft enough to do the exercises. It works really, really well. So the first one, I've just put a bit of putty rolled up in a ball in my hand. Try and clench it if I can. Now, when I first left hospital, I was just about to be able to clench my hand. I will try and release, but at the minute I don't seem to have much movement in the releasing of my hand, so I might have to just prise them away, which I will do now. Yeah, so when I was just leaving the hospital, I was just able to start clenching my hand. Both times I was in hospital, I couldn't move my fist at all. It was just still. Now, that really, really frustrated me and got me upset because I just imagined a baby is born and can instantly grab onto a parent's finger. So it really, really annoyed me that I couldn't do it when literally a baby could do it after just being born. The next exercise, which I do with putty, is basically you roll it out into like a sausage, which again you can do with your good hand. I'm going to put my thumb on first and go basically down each finger and try and press down. So if I do it with my hand that's working, if I'm doing it with my thumb, that is the action I'm looking for, and gradually it's hopefully going to get better and better. So again, I'm 18 days out of surgery and I'm just going to see how I'm doing today. So that was my shoulder that's cracking. We're aiming not to use the shoulder, we're aiming just to use the fingertips, but you can see that that's quite a struggle there for me currently. After my first surgery, it was much quicker to get to this point to actually be able to use my fingers properly, which is again why I was getting emotional this morning and a bit frustrated. And so I can press down a bit more with the first finger, and then I'm going to move it on. And again, if you're getting too many holes and things in the putty, you can just roll it out a bit more, make it a bit flatter so you can see the indents. And I'm going to move it to the middle finger. That might be a bit easier. Press down. And we're not aiming to drag as my finger is currently doing, we're aiming to just press straight down into the putty. But again, that will come with time and it will come with practice. So I tend to do all of the exercises that I'm showing you today sort of once or twice through, and I'll aim to do it maybe twice a day. Again, it depends on how my fatigue is doing currently. and that's the little finger, and again that's dragging quite a lot. So that's it for the putty. The other exercises are either stood up or sat down, whatever you can do. I'm also been struggling with my left leg, so I'll show you some of the exercises with that shortly as well. So I'm going to be doing a one arm push-up. I'm going to use my weak hand to push my body up and assist it with my stronger hand. Now I'll show you how I do it now. So I start off with my feet just a bit further back from a table, and I push my body towards it, and I use my weaker hand to push my body back up. Now again, I'm only assisting with my stronger hand on top, and purely because sometimes, as I said, my hand is quite, my hand sometimes clenches, so sometimes I end up with it like this on the table, so I help flatten it back down so that I can press down and press up. And I do that 10 times in a row, and then I next do it just in the next set of rehab that I'm doing. So just do that through once, 10 times. So the next one that I found really useful is the shoulder shrug, and that's trying to build up a bit more muscle in the shoulder area. So I lift my shoulders as much as I can up to my ears, and as you can see, I'm still much weaker in the left shoulder. But I do this a few times and try and lift them at the same time and as evenly as possible. So the next exercise I do is trying to lift my arm out to the side. I'm trying not to use my shoulder because I don't want to damage my shoulder, and also not to use my lower back because again that's straining other muscles that currently are working, so I don't want to cause any further damage to any other parts of my body. So at the minute I'm just holding my shoulder while I'm still building that up. So I just lift my arm as far as it goes out to the side. Hopefully at some point I'll be able to get it up as far as I can with my right arm. But for now, I'll just build it up as much as I can, hold it for a couple of seconds, lower it down, and that seems to be gradually improving each day. So as you can see, at the minute, I can hold it between sort of my waist and shoulder height, and like I say, gradually I'll be improving. Hold it for a couple of seconds and back down. And again, just like the other sets, I tend to do 5, have a 30-second break and do another 5, and then gradually I can do more and more sets and gradually build it higher as well. And then another one is where I lift my arm but raise it forward, so exactly the same as the side arm raise, but just raising it forward. So I'll hold my shoulder again, have my feet sort of shoulder width apart, and then just raise it as high as I can. Hold it for a couple of seconds, lower a bit down. Hopefully in a couple of weeks, once I've done much more rehab on my arm and hand, I'll be able to gain much more function and be able to show some improvement, and hopefully that'll improve how I'm feeling. Because currently with some of the rehab that I've been doing, because I've got some bits of dexterity and I can slowly move my fingers, I've gradually been able to do things like zip up a coat. So I can zip it, put the zipper in with one hand, and then use my left hand to try and grip the bottom, and then use my right hand to zip up as I would normally do. And I can also assist that by holding my coat and zip with my left hand, and then pulling the zip up a bit further. So hopefully over time I'll be able to see bigger improvements and help me to be able to do regular things that I would normally do in life, and that will be less frustrating and less emotional for me. So to help me go downstairs, when I only had one banister fitted in the house, the physio showed me how to use my weaker hand to put that on the banister first, assist it with the stronger hand, and then step down with the weaker leg, and that just gave me a bit more support whilst going down the stairs. When I first left hospital, I had a bit of weakness in my left leg, so the physio taught me how to use both feet on each step to make myself a bit more steady. I used the right leg, which is my good leg, to go up first so that I'm more stable as well, and I use a banister to help support me. The occupational therapy team managed to get a second banister fitted within 2 days of me getting discharged, which was brilliant. So that's helped me be able to walk downstairs normally using my right hand to help me. I was really frustrated to begin with this morning, and like I say, I was very emotional as well. However, I've got to look at the positives of what I've actually achieved in the last 18 days since leaving hospital. I left hospital and had a wheelchair to help me get around, especially on if I was to go a bit further on, like a longer walk around just the housing estate. I also got a walking stick on recommendation from a family member who has to use one, because then if I wanted to go a bit further but was feeling a bit more steady on my feet and a bit more awake and less fatigued, I could use the stick to help me. And I've been using that, and in the last couple of days I've recently just managed to do a few short walks unaided without my stick and without my other half being there. So that's really good that I can see that sort of improvement already with my leg. And also I've been able to go up and down the stairs properly using just one foot at a time rather than doing the two-step method. And again, that's helped because I've had the banister fitted by the occupational therapy team. Next week I'll be having a visit in person at the hospital to see the physio. Now that's really exciting because hopefully I'll be able to show some improvements, and hopefully in the next week I'll be able to do some more physio myself and improve the hand function. She also knows that I really enjoy running, and because my left leg is getting a bit stronger now, she said if when she sees me walking that show a good enough improvement, she'll be able to get me out and do a little jog just sort of down the road at the hospital. So that's really exciting for me because I love jogging, I love going out for runs, and I've got a really good running team that have helped me along the way throughout the whole diagnosis. So I'm hoping that gradually, with a few more steps and a few more help and a bit more help from the physio, I'll be able to get running again. So I hope this video has helped some people out there, but also maybe helped some people understand what I'm going through and how hard it is sometimes. Even though I do try and put a big positive face on everything, sometimes I do find it hard and struggle. And in the meantime, I'll do some rehabbing and I'll record another video to show you how much I've improved in the next few weeks. But thank you for watching, and please subscribe and stay strong, and see you next time. Or maybe slightly elbow. I'm just chatting. Hello.